Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this 23rd episode of the Diversity BW Hotelier GM Show Series, Season 2. I'm delighted with this show. We come to perhaps the best location in India. We are in Jaipur today, and I have some of the best properties being represented by stars, by the stars on the show. Before much ado, let me introduce the topic for the show today. It's Luxurious Rajasthan, Recreating the Royal Experience. Thank you, Diversity. Let me now begin with a brief introduction of the show and introduce all our speakers. I'm delighted to bring in Mr. Ashok Singh Rathore. Mr. Ashok Singh Rathore is the area director for Rajasthan and is also the general manager for the extremely famous, well-known, and the marvelous Rambagh Palace in Jaipur. Ashok ji, welcome to the show.
Khomagani, Mr. Khanna, I think it's a true pleasure and honor to be part of this show. And thank you very much for giving this wonderful opportunity to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok ji. Thank you for gracing the show. It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
Next in is my good friend, Abhishek Sharma. Abhishek is the general manager of the extremely beautiful, like you can see, the Leela Palace in Jaipur. Welcome to the show, Abhishek.
Bhuvnesh ji, it's an absolute pleasure and honor to be a part of this. I'm really looking forward to a great next 1 hour.
Pleasure. Next in is Devraj Singh. Devraj Singh is the general manager of the Taj Amer. Welcome, Devraj.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khanna, for this opportunity to all of us, and Khomagani to everybody on the show. Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure, Devraj. Such a pleasure. Next in is my good friend, Nalin Mediratta. He's the regional general manager of the Intercontinental and also the general manager of the Intercontinental Jaipur on Tonk Road.
Good afternoon, Bhuvnesh ji, and thank you for this opportunity. Good afternoon to all. Looking forward to an exciting 1 hour.
Lovely. Last but not the least, my good friend, Supreet. Supreet, welcome. Supreet is the general manager of the Jaimal Palace in Jaipur. Welcome, Supreet.
Khomagani, Mr. Khanna, and to everybody else. Thank you very much. Very excited and really appreciate the opportunity.
What a beautiful hotel you had. Last but not the least, Dipender Rana. Dipender Rana is the general manager of the ITC Rajputana. Dipender, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna and BW Hotel for inviting us on this forum, sir, and giving us an opportunity to discuss the lovely topic which we are going to take on. But thank you so much, sir, and looking forward to the next 1 hour.
Thank you all for being here. We have a wonderful show today. Delighted, and what a panel of extremely well-known and people with great experience and achievements behind them. And who better than to have them discuss Rajasthan, in fact, luxurious Rajasthan, and they shall talk about recreating the royal experience. Look, I've always maintained Rajasthan has hardly any parallel across the globe. You talk about the royalty, you talk about the heritage, you talk about the cuisine, the colors, the people, the way they greet each other, right? So Rajasthan has laid it out thick for in India and has kept India top of the pyramid. right? If only other locations in India could do what Rajasthan is doing, if they can replicate that experience. Having said all this, now the BW Hotelier, like I said, is into its 23rd week. If you were to simply count it on your fingers, that's a lot of weeks. And we have a fair distance to go. We are taking the show to locations where hardly anybody has reached. We are going to throw the searchlight on talent, on properties, on topics, which are extremely important for the industry. And come every Thursday and every Friday, which has been the case over the last 3-4 months, 4 to 5 p.m. And we shall be available online on bwhotelier.com and across our social media platforms. If you haven't watched any show, be our guest, watch the recordings. They are there across. Briefly, before I hand over the baton to Mr. Rathore, who will lead the show, this is a virtual exploration now, where we shall immerse ourselves, like I said, into the grandeur of Rajasthan. Please join us as we delve into the world of luxury hotels, their pivotal role in heritage conservation, and the extraordinary experiences they curate. Look at the virtual screens of all the gentlemen. Look at those beautiful assets. Look at the Rambagh, the Jai Mahal, the Leela Palace, the ITC Rajputana. Or look at Devraj's property, the Clarks, the Taj Amer, right? I mean, these are such wonderful assets, or what Nalin Heads. Now, let me begin the show, Ashokji, with your permission.
Sure, sir.
And roll my first question across to you.
Sure.
It is about rich heritage and opulence of Rajasthan, or may I say Jaipur. How do luxury hotels in Rajasthan integrate the state's rich heritage into their design and guest experience?
So thank you, Mr. Khanna, for asking for very interesting questions, and that's truly resonate what Rajasthan is. Rajasthan is not a destination. I would say the Jaipur is not a destination. It is an experience.
True.
Experience that promise to enchant, educate, and inspire. And a journey which will take to the bygone era, the time taken back to that, where every nook and corners it holds a new discovery, a moment which talks about the new story. A land where the history whisper from the fort and palaces to sand dunes. Now I'm talking about to the Jaisalmer, where tradition and modernity are blend seamlessly, where every city is a canvas of vibrant color and rich heritage. So Rajasthan is the past lives in harmony with the present, and Jaipur itself has been placed in the world map under UNESCO, and it's been declared by UNESCO the World Heritage City, and that's set very apart from Jaipur's to put a global map. Jaipur has been involved over the period of time, and yes, but when we're talking about modernity of the Jaipur and rich heritage and opulence of Rajasthan, it's apart from the food, palaces, culture, cuisine, the people, land, there's something new which has always been known, and that's called, and especially I'm talking about the royal family, the affinations or the love for the polo. And that polo is also taken, the Jaipur, also on the world map, not on Jaipur, but we're talking about the Jodhpur. Rich heritage we've also been talking about is love for the vintage. And it's good to see the royal family, a lot of people have still preserved and kept that vintage. We had the Cartier vintage a few years back, and the Jai Mahal also will do it, the vintage car rally, which happens every year. So that's set apart. But what truly set apart the Jaipur is the ability to embrace the modernity while preserving a heritage to culture. So it is not about glorious past, but is a living, breathing museum, the culture and traditions. The street folk music and dance, we're talking about Kalbelia, we're talking about others. And it is also we're talking about very colorful a festival, not Diwali and Holi. We also talk about Gangor and Teej, which is very, very different. Okay, and it's truly reflect a heritage, and that has been carefully preserved and passed from many generations. So, in a very nutshell, this is what the Jaipur is all about, and Rajasthan is all about. Now, coming back, that how do I feel special being a part of the journey, which is almost about more than about 3 decades. Happy to share that when the ISCL has took the journey, and in 1971, we have signed the first palace, which is called the Lake Palace, to become the part of the palace collections for ISCL. 1972, we have taken the Rambagh Palace, and this is the journey is almost about it's a half century old, and that journey shows that we're still, I think, we are progressing, and we completed about half century, and we're looking forward for the next half century as part of the luxury destinations. We're growing by leaps and bounds. Opening it many hotels in every city of Rajasthan. In Jaipur, we will be having a closest to about 1,000 room inventory. And in Rajasthan, we will be looking close to about 30 hotels, which we're talking about in horizons of about 2 years. So it's a very spatial. When you see the other cities also, I think that is blended well. But what is set apart the Jaipur is the soul is still intact. And that it differentiates from when you're talking about all the hotels in Jaipur, the architectures remain the same, because the people who come from the different part of the world, and what they really want to see, the palatial or like that experience. The architectures which is driven by, it is Rajput Shaili. It is also influenced by the Mughal. In between, we have the British eras also, which is, it holds this very, very special. It has own is architectural style, which has been visible into all the forts. Roughly in Rajasthan, we have almost about counted is about 250 forts. And I don't see, I don't think that the state must be offering that kind of the forts. I'm not talking about the palaces. What also makes the Jaipur very, very special about it's the hospitality, which set very different. I'm happy to share that as Rambagh for this year, under the TripAdvisors, we also been nominated the best hotel in the world. And we don't see as a win for the Rambagh, it's a win for the ISCL, but I think it's a complete homage and tribute to Indian hospitality. It's a win for the Indian hospitality. And that's is setting us apart and taking us on the global map. So I think that's a lot more to talk about it, integrate detail of architectural. We're talking about the jharokas, to chhatris, to jalis, and these are not element of design. They're window to the soul. And this is what I heard from the most of the guests who comes here. Okay. So the splendor is not limited to the palace and fort, but also been talking about, today the world is talking about is more on sustainability. I'll talk more about sustainability, but when we're talking about a community which is mainly from the Bishnois, They've been working from the centuries to working on the sustainability. We've been talking about how the Maharajas, they have not created a step well, the Bavadis, but also have the one on the water harvesting. I think so we can go back and learn from the history so much, which is the need of ours for the today's world. So that's it from my side, and I'm sure that I can go on for the hours, but I think just want to set the right tone and maybe heading it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashokji. That was very interesting. Yes, let me say if you talk about the old heritage assets, right? The gharanas, the mahals, the palaces, which are there, like you see the best hotel in the world that you're heading, right? Not really a hotel, a palace which became a hotel. Even the new assets have been carved out in a manner that they are truly representative of Rajasthan, right? They try to replicate that experience, like we can see in Abhishek's background, right? The Leela Palace. But having said that, if you can throw in a short response, very short response, about a minute or two, something on Rajasthan's architectural splendor, right? Give us a closer look. Rajasthan ho gaya, Udaipur ho gaya, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, Kota, wherever, you've got the Umaid Bhawan Palace, which is also with the Taj.
So I think these are the living palaces,
Yes.
And which is, I'm sure that the best part of Rajasthan is, I think Rajasthan is now state have understood the importance of tourism long back. Okay. And today it is engraved in the part of the cultures and people are also. And of course, the government recently have also given industry status for the tourism also. So that I'm sure helping us. Each one is very different. We've been talking about. Lake Palace, as we know, that is one of the unique, which is set apart and is well known. I've been part of journey. I think there was a movie was shoot in terms of Octopussy, and I was there. But yes, it is what it set apart from each one, starting from the marble. Color changes from the one city to another one. The architecture changed from one to another one. The Jaipur is like this more about the Rambagh. The architecture is more about, we'll say, the love, polo, and romance. Where the Jodhpur is talk about more valor, okay, resilience. It talks about more about, the fort which called the Mehrangarh, but the original name of Mehrangarh is Mihirgarh. And it's Mihir is the word of Sanskrit and which called the sun, the fort of the sun. So and of course later on been changed. So this is the Umaid Bhawan, and that has been created and developed by the Maharajas when drought was there. They wanted to give jobs to the people, and they used to make it and at least to destroy it, and the idea was at least to create a residence for them or living legacy of the royal palace for them, but to ensure that the welfare of the publics. All right. So I think that is a lot of philanthropic thoughts has been gone behind creating those.
Yeah, true that. Let us, Ashokji, now it's time for me to hand over the baton to you, and this show is yours to drive ahead. Why don't you begin with your first interaction with Abhishek? Over to you, Ashokji. It's your show.
It is. I can't think. Bhuvneshji, I think there could have been no one better than Ashokji to lead this. So I think you've made the perfect choice. Ashokji, what a pleasure to see you electronically. We've thankfully had the opportunity of meeting in person since the COVID has been in our past, but I look forward to this chat.
So I think before we start, I think you talk about your journey. I think then we'll be shuffling around one to the other places in Jaipur and just talk about it, how you've been so far, and why you keep on sticking to Jaipur and don't want to leave the Jaipur. So what fascinates you?
So, it's a very interesting question. The truth is that my fascination and love for Rajasthan goes back a long time, and it started, close to about 12 years ago. And in these 12 years, I've had the privilege and honor of working in two of the best cities that we have in the state. Jaipur being the mother of all places, and the gorgeous city of lakes called Udaipur. So, electronically, Bhuvneshji, also wanted to welcome you to the Pink City, and it's absolutely wonderful. The opportunity of coming back to Rajasthan is something I've always found very enticing. And yes, I've moved a couple of places, moved hotels, but I've stayed within Rajasthan. Moved companies. It would not be fair to name other brands, but I work for some fantastic brands, and I have the honor and privilege for working for another outstanding brand. So it's great to be back in the city, headed by Ashok ji, in the caliber of things in the city, and it's always a pleasure. I look forward to a longer innings. I think 10 years are already, in the kitty. But I think, Ashok ji, I'm taking a leaf out of your book, sir, and hopefully spend some more time in the state.
So we already spoken about rich heritage and opulence and architectural splendors, which is how do you see the prominence of luxury in a Jaipur in your own definitions?
Just taking a step back and sharing a little bit of my thoughts and overview. The truth is that Rajasthan and Jaipur have been a part of the, I think Bhuvneshji mentioned about the Golden Triangle, and Ashokji too. Right from the time that the country attained its independence, the first and the foremost location where it all began was Delhi for the entry and exit point, and for the excitement it brings in, and Agra for the Taj Mahal. And the only place in the Golden Triangle which was really included as part of the journey in Jaipur was mainly because of the rich tradition, history, architecture, religion, and the excitement around it, the people, the colors, and of course the warmth and the hospitality of the people in this particular beautiful city and the state. So,
okay, that's wonderful, and I can see the beautiful palace just behind you, which is you holding it. So just talk about a little more on the palatial experiences that been in working it, okay, and incorporating it at places. So just throw more light.
So, if you look at the studies that have been done over a period of the last, few weeks, in fact, few years and more, we realized that especially after the, thankfully the departure of COVID, the travelers are now looking to expand their horizon and move into cities that they've not been before. They're flirting with the idea of going to a great luxury destination. You only live once is a very common phrase that has come to our life. And then they're looking for hotels and palaces like the ones that all of my friends here on the call and I run here, the beautiful picture that I have behind. And the Leela, as an example, or any of the other Rajasthan places that we have, the hotels that we have, essentially are looking to create the experiences of the olden era and bring the luxury of the royalty experience to the modern day traveler. So, if you look at our hotel, for example, if you look at examples like having the pool villa, could be a great opportunity because, those are the things that people don't actually have. But if I could touch back and connect, let me use a specific example. In the olden days, there were these options in places like Amer Fort where the Sheesh Mahal was made, which was made out of glass and tikri work, which was all illuminated only by candles. Our way of bringing the royal experiences and luxury to our modern day traveler is to bring in a gorgeous restaurant that we have called Mohan Mahal, which is lit only by candles and mirrors. There are 350,000 pieces of glasses there, lit only by candle. It is a true spectacle, actually, Ashokji, and I know you've been there. But so, those are some of the ways that we offer, and many, many more, actually.
Thank you, Abhishek. So I'm sure we are in hospitality, and our job is to make the place is iconic. But at the same time, we also have to ensure that how do you ensure the customer satisfaction? And what kind of metrics you use it?
The truth is that over a period of time, the hotels like ours have changed their focus from general guest satisfaction to guest delight. Guest delight is the new normal. It is no longer about just satisfying a customer. It is about creating a wow. It is creating a memory. It is creating an experience that people will not be able to get back home. When you look at us, our business is all about services. It's not about what you offer inside the restaurant. It is about how you make a customer feel. So as a part of that experience, we are focused on creating unobtrusive services. And at the Leela, we specialize that by a particular way in which the Leela Palace Services program is something that we have curated very recently. Ashokji, it will be something that I'd like to share just for a minute more. The Palace experiences that we offer are just specific touch points for our guests right from the time when the guest reserves in a hotel, right from that time up to a day before arrival, all the way from arrival until the end of the stay, and even after departure. There are several touch points that we create in food and beverage, in front office experiences, and housekeeping experiences, in creating personalization such that there's a meaningful idea.
That's fine. So I think today we are living the world of digital eras. And how do you handle the cacophony of the digital era when it comes to guest satisfaction?
Well, Ashokji, I think
because something you have a control and something which is beyond control. Okay, so how do you manage that? And today that world of where the full of instant gratifications. Okay, people place the orders and before you come on the table and they change their mind. So how do you manage that part of it?
It's a great question. I'd like to share one little principle that we operate with, and it's very close to my heart. There's a lot of noise around in the world, and one of the best things to do is actually shut that out and focus on the basics, making sure that you get the basics right, making sure that every customer is met, every guest is treated like an individual, not like a room number, not like an individual who's just come in and he's going to go away. Creating relationships, creating connect, that is exactly what we hope to achieve at the Leela. Palace Services, like I mentioned a minute ago, is one of the best ways that we look to create that. And frankly, ever since the advent and the introduction of Palace Services in our brand, I must happily share with you that we've actually tripled the number of guests who have come as repeat customers. So that is clearly a very simple and a very important reflection of our performance.
Thank you, Abhishek, for throwing so much light and sharing your thoughts. It was wonderful to connect. Now moving to Devraj. So Devraj, we have spoken about Rajasthan, the city architectures, and I'm sure that you've been worked in the Rishikesh and you understand the cultures part of it and better one. And how you feel your journey is from the holy places to the place like a city, and how do you've been worked in Jodhpur also, so you understand the city so well. But in terms of cultural immersion, so what's your thought and how do you been offering and been working it? So I can see a lot of things which you've been doing it, and you yourself has been more spiritual persons also. So throw some more lights on this one. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rathore. Thank you so much for a wonderful question on the immersive experiences which we can offer. So my journey from Rishikesh to Rajasthan, I mean, I have worked in Rajasthan before. I used to always say three magical words, Veni, Vidi, Visi, which means I came, I saw, I conquered. So in last 26 years with Taj Hotels, I had got an opportunity to explore the entire India. But my Rajasthan experience was so great. I was so excited when I was coming back to Rajasthan last year. And those three magical words, with your permission and with the support of all the gentlemen on the panel, I would like to say those three magical words to our viewers. And those three magical words are Padharo Mare Des. So thank you once again, Mr. Rathore. When we talk about immersive experiences, I guess Hotels of Rajasthan leads the way and I must add globally. When we travel abroad and we meet citizens of other countries, when we talk to them, and few of them who had visited India, everybody says that, oh, we visited India and we were there at Rajasthan to experience. So Rajasthan leads the way when it comes to immersive experiences. Many hotels of across all brands are housed in very historic palaces, forts, and havelis, which allows guests to stay in the regal settings that reflect the architectural marvels of Rajasthan. Also, hotels integrate very traditional Rajasthani decor with very vibrant colors, intricate patterns, and locally crafted furnishings, supported by the local artisans, which creates an environment that reflects the cultural richness of our region. When it comes to your cultural connect, most of the hotel in Rajasthan showcase the Rajasthani culture in form of some performance which takes place in the hotels and in the resorts. In form of traditionally Rajasthani music, Kalbelia dances, folk arts, which are offered to the guest firsthand, to showcase the region's vibrant culture and expression. We collaborate with artisans. Most of the hotels, our own initiative of Pathya of IHCL, showcases all the local communities and handicrafts, which is a very great experience for all the guests. This not only supports local artisans, but also provides our guests with the authentic, souvenirs to take home and, storytelling to talk about. You spoke about Gangaur, Tej, all these festive celebrations. During major festivals, we organize our themed events and celebrations, allowing our guests to participate in those experiences and, to carry that joy with them back to their countries. Something I would like to touch upon is on the immersive experiences. All our guests, most of the hotels offer heritage walks of the city, which need to be showcased more. I personally feel are very underrated. Hotels should be directly connected with the heritage walks of the city. Old cities, some of the unexplored areas of the city can be showcased, which can be a great immersive experience for the guests. In addition to, every hotel does a lot of heritage cars tour around the city. We have a beautiful elephant village next to us. We tailor make all those experiences for our guests to go and visit these places.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Devraj. So, Nalin, so welcome to Jaipur, and I'm sure that's you're part of the migration which is happening from the Crown Plazas and is going to be part of Intercon. And I just passed by and saw that a lot of upgradation work which is happening here, and that I'm sure that every new things, upgraded things, or it add the value to the cities also. So, how do you see the Jaipur royal tapestry? All right, and especially with the palace, fort, luxury abode, and each one is telling the unique story of Opulent. So, in your own words.
Thank you, Ashok.
Thank you.
I've been in Jaipur for more than 3 years now, and from different cities, cosmopolitan cities, commercial business district areas to Rajasthan and to Jaipur was a delightful experience. The culture, the kind of luxurious comfort that we give to our customers, especially the hotels which deal in luxury, and now I'm part of one, is amazing. It's how we see the Jaipur's heritage attraction for all kinds of customers, whether it's an international traveler, domestic leisure segment, whether we are looking at the wedding segment or the MICE segment. Each has its place in the city, and there are pockets of excellence everywhere. So it's a delightful experience. And in my thinking, the unique luxury experience amidst the royal ambience, is and curated experiences for sure, is something which really makes it much more special. And I'm not just talking about Jaipur; it's about Rajasthan, where we see culture at a different level. Whether it's about the dance form, music, the cuisine that we offer to our customers, it's at a different level altogether, and it's world famous. So not just part of a golden triangle, it's a part of a great heritage of our country, which we all are proud of. And I'm sure we all will agree and are viewers will agree that it provides that platform that, with the historic architectural beauty and the opulent lifestyle. And you touched upon some facts, including the polo, which is something which is unique, and we really see a lot of action on those lines. But apart from that, the rich culture and the cuisine, we have binding stories. We have historical stories about the place, about the culture, and this really creates some unique memories in front of our customers. So we at Intercontinental Hotel, we look at creating those memories by delightful experience, by creating those experiences which guests can remember for the rest of their lives. It's not just about a good service, it's about something which is more delightful, as my friend Abhishek mentioned. It's about customer delight. And we do it by taking care of each and every customer who steps in, irrespective of the segment the customer belongs to. And I feel, with the great monuments, forts, and palaces, the connectivity getting better to Jaipur today with the road travel and also the air travel, and with the new airport coming in very shortly, it is going to be the destination for the future.
Okay. So, but that's one thing is fine, because if you see most of the Indian brands, like when talking about ISCL, you're talking about Oberoi, been talking about ITC and many others. So how do you see the Intercon, how do you fit into Jaipur Royal legacy into, and how do you incorporate your experiences?
So from a luxury segment standpoint, each brand and each different luxury segment has something to offer. And at the Intercontinental Hotels, we have a motto of inspire incredible. This is creating unique experiences for our customers, which are incredible, which are memories, which are everlasting. So that's the space we come in, the delightful factor, and also making sure that we create the right product and service mix for all our customers. We do not have a palace hotel, but then we make each and every experience as an experience for a king. That's where you fit in.
Thank you, Naril. So moving over to Supreet. So welcome from the hills to land of desert and the Pink City.
Thank you very much.
And you are rightly placed. I can see the beautiful property, the background, Jai Palace. So I know you have the short tenure there in the Jai but how do you see that from heritage conservations, point of it is a very delicate task to preserve the heritage and structures. So what kind of, how do you see it meeting your standards and delivering it and keeping that in mind?
Thank you very much, Mr. Rathod. So these, the living and talking palaces which we have, they tell tales of royalties of the bygone era. These historic buildings are still standing tall, elegant and grandeur. They were built in a certain area to suit the lifestyle of the occupants of that time. But now, with the interventions of technology, which are ruling the lifestyles of the present-day guests, all the amenities must be provided and to have the first tick mark of luxury.
No, we were talking about more about, so it's preserving or conserving, like you have a beautiful observatory, and we have the one observatory in the Jantar Mantar, and I think the palace in the country which has the observatory inside the premises. So how do you see that, which is that your kind of preservations or maintaining those ones? So what kind of challenges?
To be very frank, it's very, very, as you said, it's very delicate to touch any of those specific architectural, marvels, to be very frank. Now, what's happening is that even if there is something which needs to be done, it has to be done in a very articulated manner so that it becomes a part of the palace and looks exactly like how it was supposed to be in that era. And that is what I think has been wonderfully done here at the Jai Mahal, each and every part and nook and corner of the palace, while it has been done so amicably that it just doesn't show that it has been done later on. All kind of upkeep, every kind of advancement in terms of technology, in terms of air conditioning, in terms of fire life safety, everything has been done so well. So what I would like to say that the dilemma is actually it's the task of presenting or preserving the historic structure while aligning them with the contemporary design which we already have.
Yeah, so I've been part of the Jai Mahal journey also, and what is set apart is that new edition also, which is very hard to see. So I think that set apart is that anything which you do it, and on the lighter note, I keep on telling my first brief to the chief engineer and the housekeeper, and keep on telling that at the palaces, we don't do renovations, we do restorations.
Absolutely.
All right, I think that's the key for us to preserve that. Okay, thank you, Supreet.
Thanks, sir.
Moving to Dipender. So Dipender, Jaipur is a growing city. A lot of new brand which is coming to the city, and is getting very close proximity to Delhi. The Jawar airport is going to become soon. The new express highway from Delhi to Mumbai, I'm sure, is open the door of opportunity. The expand from the wildlife is also happening it. So how do you see that, which is what we're doing it at least to attack the global, the discerning customers, okay, and coming to the Jaipur to experience Indian luxury and heritage?
Well, good evening, Mr. Rathore, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to give our opinions about what the hospital is about. It's a very great forum, and this question is answered by all of you. I don't have to make too much effort because I think everybody has covered a bit of the answer which we are talking about. Why is it that what is the global appeal? Like I said, it is the brand, it is the panel which is sitting, and also the brand which are there in the city. They're all varied. Different parts, from the actual palace to a palace which has been constructed again. But the point which is very important and is very reflective and very unique about this state and the Rajasthan industry is that we have always, all the brands have worked hard to make themselves contemporary. They have always, evolved their product offering, have always done and created new things. Example is my hotel. This is a 31-year-old hotel, ITC Rajputana, and it's not old. It's a 31-year young hotel, and we have become a US GBC LEED certified zero carbon hotel. Right in the heart of the city, sustainable. We do about 50% of our local sourcing. Everything is here, but all the brands, all the hotels have made themselves contemporary and provided services of world-class standard year and year. I think that is a very big thing. Kudos to you, sir. You already mentioned, and I was going to say that here, is that, you have led the way, in terms of getting recognition, not just for a specific brand, that's Taj, but all of us. We are very proud in one of our hotels from our city, becoming the number one in the hotel unbiasedly. Most important, and you've also mentioned, is that, the efforts which is done here, and it will not be fair on us not to mention all the partners who have been there in our minds, the people who have supported us, the travel agents, the FTOs, the story scripting, the Hollywood, the Bollywood, the royal family, which has done so much in constructing the base and making it so poised. So that's what I think.
Thank you, Dipender. I think is over to Mr. Khanna.
I'll have to just take a small commercial break.
Yeah.
Ashokji, with all respect to you. Thank you, Diversey. Thank you for all your support. Ashokji, I can't go away, but I need a short 1.5, 2 minute response for you on a very important thing. Again, I keep coming back to you. I want to pick on all your experience, on all the years that you have spent here, because you are that massive reservoir of not just experience, of knowledge. What you bring to the table in Rajasthan, not very many people. So permit me to ask you, we've just spoken about preservations. You just spoke about restoration, not renovation, right? So tell me, how do we preserve the royal legacy? If you can, if you can talk about the efforts made by various hotels, various owners, various organizations in preserving and showcasing this rather rich legacy and heritage of Rajasthan, which we can give to a modern day traveler.
So, Mr. Khanna, when you're talking about preservation of the royal legacy and the palaces and the fort, we are managing it. It's not about, endeavor is to conserve the old structure, but it's also safeguarding the soul of civilizations and the history which has been there, the story of bygone era, that is very important, and the essence of the shared culture heritage. That we're doing it, I'm sure that we have, I'll give you an example of the palace walk, which we do in the palaces. And every guest who comes there, is difficult, but we do the kind of palace walk and show them around that what is history is all about it. So it is transport back to the era and the time and make them travel is also. The another part of it, its preservation is also its flora and fauna. How do you want to keep intact? When you see the Rambagh today, or even the palaces, we can build many more rooms. But the area which is about 50-acre lands and having about 76 rooms, itself is talking about the commitment for preserving it. It's not about profitability, but keeping that iconic at the same time and managing it. So that's a challenging task for it. Restoring the design. When we have to upgrade our property, we have to keep that. We should not lose the essence or architectural essence of the property. That's also not about in facade or structure, but it also comes from the culinary experiences also. So lost recipe, we keep on introducing it. We also in the process for incorporating the heritage liqueur. Many gharanas we used to have it. So I think we going for the journey between tradition with the meet modernity, yet the soul is kept essences. And we're still trying to do with the past is cradle in the arms of the present. So a lot of things been designer also we select, which is who are the experience. We don't get somebody is a new one. And the same, you find the most of the palaces that even the team we have it quite experienced, the people who work from the different generation. So we have some of the, even in palaces, the people is working from the 4 generations, 5 generations. Because it's important to understand the culture, and you can't manufacture the culture over the period of times. It takes century, it takes decades about it. So I think, and the endeavor is to make authenticity, the historical authenticity, culture authenticity. And it's not, but I think the lot of hard work which goes to maintain and to ensure that it remain intact. So, and of course, it's the last is community at the large. Everything we do it, are we connected with the community and we're supporting the community, whether your folk dances, the artisans, for the people, because Jaipur is looking, artisans. It's a bazaar, it's a shopping hub, it's heaven for the shopping. So the many things which also we don't see, but we're trying to promote the local communities also. We also, I'm happy to share that in IGCL, We are tied up with something called Intangible Cultural Heritage of India, which is part of UNESCO. And there we are supporting a lot of communities like which is called the Blue Pottery, block paintings, okay, Kalbelias, and many others. So idea is to keep the things intact, okay, and give a flavor of the past where the present is meet. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashokji. That was wonderful. Ashokji, with your permission, I'm going to slip in one to Abhishek Sharma.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Abhishek, tell me, you are in the unique position of having done Jaipur with a whole lot of brands, like you responded to Ashokji. You know, while Jai Mahal, Rambagh Palace, Umaid Bhawan, and all these wonderful heritage hotels have a lot of legacy of years behind them. I want a very short, crisp response. The Leela Palace has seen a change of brand, of course, that is on the side, not very important. But building a hotel with an eye on heritage and the legacy of Rajasthan, what are your views? I want you to answer that in a minute.
Well, Bhuvnesh, thank you for this opportunity. I think it is very well said. And we, as a brand, we are very close to being, representative of Atithi Deva Bhava, which is our credo. I think that is not just about modern hotels and luxury hotels, but it goes back in time to our manuscripts. And it is definitely connected with all of us, being Indians, being a part of this beautiful country. And I think that is why the Leela as a brand, it's a very easy, smooth transition to come into a place like Jaipur, where the Leela Palace Jaipur is helping put together the Indian luxury element in a modern palace setting, like the picture you see behind me. In addition to that, it is also part of a strategic move because as a part of our positioning of the brand, we had a palace in Jaipur, in Delhi. We had a palace in Udaipur, but we didn't have one in Jaipur. So we finished that in February 2021. And please watch the space. There is a Leela Palace Agra coming soon.
Yeah.
To all my friends and all the viewers, that should be something to look forward to. It's going to be very.
Yeah, and you forgot Bangalore.
So Devraj, how do you see that your iconic and profitability in terms of the ROI and which we're looking for it. Okay, a lot of investment. I can see the owners has put a lot of money. I'm tweaking some questions. Okay, but keeping a positive the time. So the owner spend a lot of money and building a iconic properties, and that goes with the crores of rupees. Okay, with the lands and with the property. So how do you see that in terms of ROI? Okay, and what you see that, do you think is a healthy business?
I must say that the new properties which are opening in Rajasthan, we need to strike a balance between the tradition and being contemporary. And at the same time, delivering the return on investment of the owners, of the promoters is also very, very crucial. So it has to be smart hoteliering. We need to look at all the parameters of running the hotel, financial aspect, of course, which is the most important, ensuring that entire team has that business acumen when they take decisions and empowering them to take decisions, ensuring that the customer comes back to us so that that money is kind of protected. When a guest comes for the first time, we ensure that, like how Abhishek was saying, that it's not only guest satisfaction, it's the guest delight which comes into play now. So looking at that, ensuring that we are taking care of the community along with us.
Okay.
And
so I want to ask the same question to Nanil also. So how do you see that, which is ROI? With a lot of investment, upgradation, changing of the one branch to another one. So how do you see that?
Thanks, Ashok. In my opinion, I think every hotel is a mix of great product and service mix. That's the paramount important for all our luxury properties, and which gives us the better average rate and eventually a better profitability. But the critical aspect is the value to the customer. If that value, and luxury means different things to different people. It's an emotion, right? And the same pen can be charged 10 times more, but it's the experience that really makes all the difference. And that's where we are. All the luxury properties look at that aspect, which is the critical basics to get repeat customers, repeat business, eventually return on investment. But then in terms of looking at the commercial aspect of a hotel, it is very important that we look at targeted marketing, for better visibility and of the brand and the hotel. We look at each and every market segment and see that how we can amalgamate the traditional marketing with the digital marketing space, and see that we amplify and get the return on investment for the owner. And a couple of points that I would like to also mention before I finish is to look at how we use the social media in today's context to really get the return on investment from an owner's perspective and also from an operator perspective.
Okay.
And finally, it's about strategic partnerships with various other luxury brands. Could be credit cards, could be also airlines, to see that we get the value for the customer and also get repeat business.
Okay. So before we leave to Mr. Khanna, it's open question for everybody. I think what you guys enjoyed the most, okay, on the fun part of it. Anybody?
Well, I'm going to take that first.
Sure.
It's great to see all the friends that we've been, everyone on the panel is a very dear friend, starting from Bhuvnesh ji, Ashok ji, Nalin, Dipendra, Supreet, everyone. I mean, Dave. I think it's an honor to be a part of this. It is an absolute pleasure. I have had a delightful last 1 hour, and I hope that the viewers enjoyed the discussions as well. Thank you for moderating the whole thing.
Thank you.
Ashokji, I look forward to seeing you in person.
Anybody else before we hand over the batons to Mr. Khanna?
I have 3 short questions to ask Ashokji. I'm going to shoot one at, and these are 3 topics that I want to really touch on. Devraj, if I may come to you.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Sure,
Tell me, you're a vegetarian, you're a non-vegetarian, you're somebody who's really coming to Rajasthan for the cuisine, for the culinary experience, right? Tell me, how do you elevate the Rajasthani cuisine to an art form? Look, it's already an art form, be it gattas, be it your lalmas, or your वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
दाल बाटी चूरमा, right? Dal bati churma has a lot of country cousins. In Bihar, you've got litti chokha, you've got all that. So, मेरे को कुछ बताओ, if you can tell me about the challenges and the successes of crafting a menu for a traveler to Rajasthan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khanna. I really wish I can get an hour on this to talk about. This is my most favorite topic, cuisine. I come from food and beverage background, and every state I have worked, I have really dwelled deeper into the cuisine and have explored some underrated cuisines. So you rightly said, Rajasthani cuisine doesn't end at Lal Mas, Kher Sangri and Gatta. I would like to share that Rajasthan is the biggest state of the country, and it is bordering 4 another states and also borders Pakistan. The influence right from Thar Desert to the greener pastures, the cuisine changes in Rajasthan. Rajasthani cuisine for me is not only Rajasthan, it is Hadoti cuisine, which is Kota. It is Dhundari cuisine, which is Jaipur, where we are sitting. Mewadi cuisine, which is Udaipur. Marwadi cuisine, which is your Jodhpur. And of course, Shekhawati cuisine, which is very underrated. People don't even talk about it, which is your Churu and all that belt. So now the chefs across all the brands in Rajasthan state are working on exploring these cuisines also. And believe me, these cuisines are very different from each other. We are also now working on, showcasing these cuisines, crafting some very high-end menus. Sir, any chef can serve a local dish in a very contemporary style. It looks European, but it ends up actually, it's a lal mas deconstructed, and we use all those fancy words. But what needs to be done is exploring these cuisines, which I have shared with you. And I promise you, very soon people will be talking about these cuisines, which are absolutely unexplored. No books have been written on them. Exceptions are there, but a lot need to
I
be.
completely go with you. And I was itching to ask this because अगर आप राजस्थान आए, आपने पैलेस देख लिए, सब कुछ कर लिए, आपने रंग देख लिए, पिंक, येलो, मजेंटा, एवरी कलर, रेड, व्हाइट, सब कुछ. Khana, food, the food of Rajasthan, right? Thank you for that, Devraj. I owe you one.
Thank you.
And I'm coming back to pick a break with you. So,
Sure. Thank you.
Supreet, I'm going to ask you a question in the presence of your boss. मेरे को ये बताओ, you are a general manager, you've come down from the hills like Ashok ji was saying. Tell me something about operational challenges. Look, a general manager's job is not a very easy job, right? You have a whole lot of challenges. How do you navigate day-to-day challenges such as staff retention, their training, and maintaining the intricate balance between the historic charm and the modern aspects of luxury?
I think that is the, thank you very much for the question first. This is one of the most important questions, I suppose. Yeah. How do we create the balance? And I think that is where general manager comes in, creating the balance. Now, so in these palaces, I think one of the big challenge which we have is maintaining the historic structure as a whole, and then infusing the contemporary and the modern elements. And as we spoke before, and how Mr. Rathore also said, that it is not termed as renovation, but restoration, and taking it from that angle itself. The other which comes around is on the storytelling part of it and the experiential part of it. Somewhere where, I'd heard that, you can forget somebody saying something to you, you can forget somebody, but you will not forget how you have been made to feel. Now, training is something which comes around very, very big part in that manner. And that is where the legacy and the royal feeling comes out to be for our colleagues. And that is actually going to be and is one of the biggest assets these palaces actually have. Also, the retention of associates, which is quite paramount in terms of your knowledge base, which is being shared and preserved. All the palaces have a lot of stories, a lot of anecdotes which are around, which cannot be, just to be given on training basis. But then again, of course, those storytelling and that hand holding is one of the most important things. So that is basically how we are handling it to be.
Supreet, that's very interesting. The only parallel that I draw between a hospitality general manager is the one with the captain of a large seagoing vessel, right?
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
You maintain it every day, you sail it every day, you make money every day, you feed every day,
Absolutely.
You sleep every day, right? By the way, the captain of the ship has 4 hours of awake time and 4 hours of sleep time. So, yeah, I guess that's the parallel. But thank you for your response. Yeah,
thank you very much.
And great luck for your new tenure. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Dipender, you're also a new one here. Huh?
Yes, sir. 6 months.
Right, but I'm sure you guys are taking to the waters like a fish would. Dipender, Jaipur has its own allure, which Ashok ji will agree. It is a magnet. It is a pull. And it is beautifully located also. Right? Like Ashok ji just said, Nalin ne bhi bola tha ki you are on the Delhi-Mumbai highway now, the expressway. You're well connected by road, by rail, by air. And it is a magnet. Mere ko ye batao, if you can explore what makes Jaipur a premier destination for luxury experiences, luxury capitals, right? And how does it draw travelers, not just from within India, but from overseas? Chota response dena.
Done, sir. Chota response denge, sir. The answer itself is in the pet name of the city, is the pink city. Now, pink is the color of hospitality. Here in the city, people have literally opened up their hearts, opened up their homes, opened up their forts, opened up their palaces for guests to come in. And, the brands which are represented here, we have established ourselves here, 30, 40, 50 years hence. This is it. this is what we do in the hospitality. And I can only summarize this by saying that the world has recognized Jaipur as a UNESCO heritage site, which was also mentioned briefly someplace else. And the essence of Jaipur, the creation of Jaipur was done, sir, for trade to come in, for love and affection to happen. This was created by the gentleman whose name we carry, Sohail Jai Singh Ji. He created this city for trade. He brought us in. And the last but not least, to summarize everything, sir, everybody what he says Padharo Mere Desh. We look forward to welcoming you. I think that is what captures all our efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dipender. That's a very, very compact but meaningful response. Ashokji, I always want to keep coming back to you. I want to pick on your years over here. Like I always say, you are the reservoir of experience. What would you want the world to know you as a hotelier who's led Rajasthan in the years to come? In short, what would your legacy be? A hotelier, a Rajasthani in the hospitality business.
So I think it's enjoy what you do it. I think it's a passion, and I was blessed. Okay, I would not give this advice, but I want to share it. That being a good human being, I think that's make you great hotelier. Okay, and I think if we can, my legacy would be, it is in addition of the profitability, in addition of everything, if I can touch the life of somebody, if I can help somebody to grow in the career, and if I can contribute into society, I think that's the biggest legacy you can leave behind. The rest all is, I think, is monetary, is going to forgotten over the period of time, but it's not legacy what you leave behind, but what you leave inside the people. I think that's more important. Thank you.
Are you happy with the way things have progressed over the last few years?
I'm extremely happy because my father told me when I started working with first jobs, he said, never work for the money. And he told me that salary is the bribe to kill your passions and creativity. So I have never worked for money. I think I don't have allergy with the money, but I think that I kept that piece of advice always in my mind. Thank you.
But tell me, if not a hotelier, what would you have been? And was this the first choice for your career?
Not hotelier, then I would be in farmer. That's it.
In farming?
Yeah.
Was this your first career choice?
First and last. This is my first love and the last love. So.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have had a ball of a time with these professionals. And, it didn't take me too long to talk to Ashokji to lead this show. He's such a humble, grounded, and wonderful gentleman, and a quintessential hotelier, and he's got hospitality and the Rajput blood in his genes, right? So,
Mr. Khanna, before we conclude, I think I was blessed because my journey as a kid, I used to stay next to the Rambagh, and I've been talking about by very little. I used to come. One jumps to the stadium next to Polo Ground, to Rambagh, yes. And I've seen myself, like the late Rajmata Gayatri Devi, and I've seen the polo, how the celebration used to happen in the polo bar, how the royalty used to come. And so, I was blessed to be part of that bygone era, the legacy. I've seen the Prince Charles playing the polo in the polo grounds, and the many things which goes back to my mind, and a very nostalgic feeling. So I think that really helped me, to nurture and preserve what I was witness for it in my journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much. For all the impressionable ones who are out looking for education and hospitality, or the ones who are already in hospitality schools, look at these men, look at their class, look at the wonderful and really expensive assets they lead. This is a great industry to be in. In which other industry do you manage such assets? Do you dress up so well? You speak so well? You eat great food more than anything else? In which industry do you get to handle heads of state, VIPs, corporate bosses at such a young age. Get into hospitality. And let me tell you, this is the next big frontier for India. Hospitality, travel, tourism, F&B. Ashokji, with your permission, I want to sum up the show.
Sure.
Look, so as we conclude our virtual journey through luxurious Rajasthan, which is the topic of our show, and create all those royal experiences, it becomes evident that luxury hotels in Jaipur and across Rajasthan are not merely accommodations. They are storytellers.
Absolutely.
Right? Where we weave tales of grandeur, where we preserve regal heritage for generations to come. From operational intricacies to revenue challenges, each facet is a brush stroke, like an artist would do. Creating a masterpiece that captivates travelers seeking the authentic charm of Rajasthan. Here's to the allure of Jaipur and the timeless grandeur of Rajasthan, forever etched in the hearts of those seeking the epitome of luxury and cultural richness. Be there and savor it all. Before I go away, before I thank you all, come back tomorrow, Friday, the 17th. We have another wonderful show, the episode 24, again on Jaipur. This time it is about regal weddings and events in Rajasthan, a grand affair. You will enjoy it. Again, some fantastic assets and brilliant general managers. And also let me thank Team BW, Ajit, Saurabh, Amit, Nilesh, Priyanshu, Tanvi, Shweta. Shweta, by the way, is from Bikaner. Like I was saying, she's got a lot of food from me from there. So I'm yet to get my hands onto that. Kartike, Prashant, Salman, Mudit, thank you all. As we bring you these shows, we have a large set of colleagues who are trapping every word to bring to you to social media and the recordings. Last but not the least, Ashokji, thank you once again. It's been a pleasure sharing the screen with you virtually. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for your responses. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Devraj. Thank you, Nalin, Supreet, and Dipendra. At BW Hotelier, on behalf of my team, I am delighted to get this opportunity to share the screen with you and to carry your knowledge to the audience of BW Hotelier.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna. Looking forward to visit to Jaipur.
We'll see you soon, all of you.
Thank you.
I'm coming to Jaipur for a round table and we will all meet together.
Thank you.